Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Most infamous medical procedures.
He wanted to solve the problems of psychiatry, and he wanted to do it fast.
The lesson here is not how a man can go off the rails, it is how science can go off the rails.
Ellen Ionesco was the first patient to undergo a procedure Dr. Freeman had perfected only weeks before. He called it transorbital lobotomy.
Usually 3 successive convulsions are necessary, but in old people a single one may be sufficient, while in a sturdy young person 4 or even 6 convulsions may be administered without danger. Now that the convulsion has subsided, the nurse holds a towel over the nose and mouth of the patient.
Freeman would peel back each eyelid, insert his ice pick, and with a hammer, tap through the brain, wiggle it about, sever the frontal lobes, withdraw it.
Turning now to the operation itself, very little preparation is necessary for transorbital lobotomy.
The instrument was put in above the eyeball and in the plane of the nose.
This patient came to the hospital this morning after breakfast, and he will leave tomorrow afternoon.
Ultimately, the fate of lobotomy would be settled by a pill. In 1954, a new drug called Thorazine began to sweep through state mental hospitals.
Thorazine was initially marketed as a chemical lobotomy. I mean, this was seen as a selling point, that it produced results similar to lobotomy, but without, of course, all the risks of the surgery.
If housewives found their early 1950s existence too depressing for words, why Freeman had a solution that would get them through their day happy as little clams. If children were misbehaving, conditions we might now see being called hyperactivity disorder, why they might need a lobotomy.
In all, Freeman lobotomized 19 children under the age of 18, including a 4-year-old.
I don't need another flu shot. I had a flu shot last year. A swine flu epidemic may be coming.
Swine flu shot? Well, I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
It could make you very sick.
Swine flu? Man, I'm too fast to let it catch me.
You'll want to be protected.
I'm the healthiest 55-year-old you ever seen. Hey, I play golf every weekend.
Get a shot of protection. The swine flu shot.
Joe brought it home from the office. He gave it to Betty and one of his kids, and to Betty's mother. But Betty's mother went back to California the next day. On her way to the airport, she gave it to a cab driver, a ticket agent, and one of the charming stewardesses. At school, Joe's kid gave it to some other kids, and Mrs. Merrill got it and gave it to her husband. In California, Betty's mother gave it to her best friend, Dottie. But Dottie had a heart condition and she died. But before she died, Dottie gave it to her girlfriend, the mailman, the paper boy, and the vet when she went to pick up her chihuahua.
If a swine flu epidemic comes, this is how it could spread. You'll want to be protected, especially if you're elderly or chronically ill. Get a shot of protection. The swine flu shot.
That the Obama administration is considering implementing a new fall vaccination program against the flu. A plan that would require Americans to get not one, not two, but 3 flu shots. This is going to be a public relations, trust your government and your health officials public campaign. And then trust the scientists to say the swine flu is for real, get these other 2. If they do believe that this swine flu could be a real uptick in severity, you're going to see a massive public education campaign. But we trusted the scientists back in 1976 with the original swine flu shot, and it was a debacle. Right. Not only that, some people died, some people were paralyzed. From the shot itself. And people remember the swine flu vaccine as a terrible disaster. This government, these manufacturers want to make sure that does not happen again. But you bring up a very important point. Just because something works doesn't mean it's safe.
The flu season is upon us. Which type will we worry about this year? And what kind of shots will we be told to take? Remember the swine flu scare of 1976? That was the year the U.S. government told us all that swine flu could turn out to be a killer that could spread across the nation. And Washington decided that every man, woman, and child in the nation should get a shot to prevent a nationwide outbreak, a pandemic, of what happened when they took that shot, for neurological damage or even death triggered by the flu shot.
See how easy it is to...
Thus, the U.S. government's publicity machine was cranked into action to urge all America to protect itself against the swine flu menace. One of those who did roll up her sleeve was Judy Roberts. She was perfectly healthy, an active woman, when in November of 1976, she took her shot. 2 weeks later, she says, she began to feel a numbness starting up her legs.
By the following week, I was totally paralyzed.
So completely paralyzed, in fact, that they had to operate on her to enable her to breathe. And for 6 months, Judy Roberts was a quadriplegic. But this disease can even kill. Indeed, there are 300 claims now pending from the families of GBS victims who died. You began to give flu shots to the American people in October of 76.
October 1st.
By that time, how many cases of swine flu around the world had been reported?
There had been several reported, but none confirmed. There were cases in...
None confirmed. Did you ever uncover any other outbreaks of swine flu anywhere in the world?
No.
Was X53A ever field tested?
I can't say. I would have to...
It wasn't.
I don't know.
First this noon, Black Friday 2010 starts with a bang. The crowds were larger than expected, and as people packed stores all throughout West Michigan. Hello everyone, I'm Mark Thompson. Our cameras were on hand at stores all across our area throughout the night and early this morning as people camped out in tents. You can see it there, and they camped out of Best Buy. They lined up all the way around Toys R Us, and we were also at Meijer and Target and Walmart as well. We've got it all covered for you. But for the most part, things were busy and orderly. A far different scene from this right here. Do you remember this? You probably do. This was a scene taking place at that Cascade Walmart back on Black Friday 5 years ago. A woman was trampled in that melee. This noon, 24-hour News 8's Ken Kolker is looking at the security changes that appear to have kept this from becoming like that, a Black and Blue Friday. He's live right now outside the Walmart where this happened.
All right, everybody, this is the way it's going to shake down, okay?
line up behind that gentleman right there. Get off of me!
It's like a vacuum. They'd push you right through it. I feared for some of their lives. I really did.
But this Black Friday, shoppers were let in early and formed smaller lines inside, near the shelves that held the high-def TVs and the Wiis they desired.
It's much better because people are more relaxed. They don't feel so desperate to find something.
And safety was the goal of OSHA after a Walmart stampede 2 years ago in Long Island that killed a worker. The Federal Safety Agency this year recommended stores take precautions, more training, roped off lines, better communications. At Toys R Us on 28th Street Southeast, shoppers were let in 50 at a time, every 5 minutes, to ease the crush.
And we're going to make sure that we have a nice, safe environment that is very welcoming, and we make this the best experience that we possibly can.
So it's all about safety?
It's all about safety.
From the looks of the lines, it's a good thing they were taking precautions. At Toys R Us, the line wrapped around the building. The line at Best Buy was about a block long, with the first family in line camping out since Wednesday night, waiting for laptops and a flat-screen TV.
That's the goal, is to get what we want. Because if we're last in line, we won't get what we want, right?
Ma'am, if you want to go on over to 2, to be able to help you there.
At Target, Charlene Sisson waited in line out of necessity. She lost her job about a year ago, and her unemployment is about to run out.
Well, we have to get our money to stretch as far as we possibly can, and you have to face it, there's been some really good deals this year.
Of course, not all the shopping experiences were calm.
People were running in front of us and pushing us. It was crazy. I mean, people got to the Westinghouse televisions and they were throwing them to their friends and stuff.
Next year, he says, will be different.
We'll get here earlier, we'll bring a lot of warmth, and we're going to run.
Well, so far the good news is, Mark, that we've had no Black Friday incidents, nothing that we've reported so far. I'm live in Cascade Township, Ken Kolker, 24-Hour News 8.
The mad dash into a Walmart store knocked shoppers to the ground near Grand Rapids, Michigan at 5 in the morning. Despite several people falling to the ground, shoppers charged ahead, fixated on doorbuster deals.